What's up, gang, and aloha. This is John coming at you from Kawela Motors. Thank you again for checking out our YouTube channel. Now remember, if you like what you see, please take a minute and subscribe. Also hit the like button and hit me up in the comments to try to answer as much as I can for your questions about these awesome electric motion bikes and how we're doing with them here in Hawaii. I will say this, in the video I will be referring to some things, and you may see a little Easter egg of a video to come. And I want to say, for those people out there who can notice the Easter egg and comment in the box what it is, if you wish to purchase this item in the future, you'll get $20 off, and we can ship wherever in the United States and possibly internationally. We got to figure that part out. But it's an item that someone is making for these bikes, and it works great. So if you see what it is, call it out in the comments block, and we'll put you in the we'll mention you in the next video. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to put our seat kit on our ePure Race. So thanks everybody for checking us out. Remember, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. All right, gang. So, weather's not that good this week. It's been raining a lot, and I figured this would be a good time since I've had this kit for a while, but haven't had the chance to shoot the video. We'll make this video, and hopefully can get all you guys in the States pretty much aware of what is available for the ePure Race. Now, as you can see, I have removed my battery. My battery is sitting on the bench. I've taken off the top plate here, and I've exposed this piece here. And a lot of you guys have been commenting on the Facebook group that you're having a really hard time putting this on. Personally, I've done this so many times, taking it off, putting it back on. I guess it's a lot easier for me, but I will go through some tips on how to put this back on, because it's going to be a little bit tougher when we add our seat kit. First things first, we have our bracket. Now this bracket pretty much emulates the battery from the eScape model. Now you can see that it has a mounting hole in the front, which actually mounts to this up here, just where your normal top plate would mount. But it also has these side brackets, and where these side brackets go is right here. Now there's been some confusion if they go outside the tab, inside the tab. They go outside the tab, and I'll show you how it works when we get to that point. Now, like I said, this emulates the eScape model. Just like the eScape model, all of them, you have the top cover, which is the plastic piece that protects the battery. This shroud goes over this bracket. Okay. This is our mounting pin here, and then that's where our seat mounts to. Check out the link above if you haven't seen the walk around video of the eScape R. Now the eScape R 2021 is where this seat design first came out. This is the first year of this seat kit, and basically also, if you guys seen from Electric Motion's products, that when you buy the eScape Lite, this is what you get built on the bike already, because the eScape Lite has a seat, but it's basically a ePure Lite with a seat. The battery is the same size, it has a seat, but it has also a different gray and black graphics versus the vibrant blue and orange graphics of the ePure model. So hope that wasn't too confusing, but check it out, the eScape Lite. Okay. And last but not least, the fender, the rear fender. And a lot of people ask, why can't I use the ePure Race fender? And simply put, it's this right here. This little pocket, with this hole, is where the seat actually locks into. You see that corresponding piece right there with the threaded insert? So that fits into that pocket, and essentially that's what locks it in with a bolt. Okay, now you look at your E-Pure fender. Beautiful, ain't it? Nice colors. It has nothing. So if you kept this fender on, this the seat will not mount to the back. It will not be stable, and you're just gonna have problems. So when you buy the seat kit, this is what you get essentially: 4 pieces and a couple screws for a longer bolt for mounting this top piece, and a one more short bolt for mounting the seat to this. Now, taking a look at our Escape R, you will have the same. It's going to look exactly the same. Seat height wise to the ground, exactly the same. The way it mounts, the way it fits up, you know. So essentially, you have this bike on that frame, but like I mentioned before, with the battery being able to fit in this frame, the benefits of having an E-Pure Race with a seat is that you have about roughly about 20 pounds less weight because of the battery size. And the battery, of course, like I said before, isn't out here, and it's not as top heavy, so the bike itself feels different. The bike itself, even with the seat kit on, feels like you're riding an E-Pure Race. But if you're riding this bike in trails, it's really nice to be able to sit down once in a while to gain some traction. If it's a real tricky section where you can't just stand on the pegs and work your way around it, or if you're not at that skill level, kind of like myself, or you know, if you just want to, if you're just a sit-down rider and you just want to cruise 2 trails, you want a lightweight bike with a lot of power, with a clutch. You don't need, say you don't go on really long rides, so you don't need that extra 20 amp hours of battery pack. This may be an option for you to keep the weight down, but still get the functionality of this bike here. Okay, so let me mount this camera up and we'll get started taking apart this and mounting the bracket. Okay, so first things first, we're going to remove all 4 bolts. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit to gain access to these tabs up here. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just remove this. We're gonna just pull this back. We don't have to take this piece off yet. We're gonna move this back, and I put the bike on a stand just so that the bike is not leaning over, and I don't have to worry about pushing the thing over, because it's gonna take a little bit working around to get this seat kit on. So I have it on a stand. It's very sturdy, and I'm just gonna pull this back just a bit, not completely off, just so I can see these tabs here. Now you notice these clips come off, and these are the ones I need to mount on. So I'm going to put this on the side for now and show you the bracket. Alright guys, now you see you have this bracket here, and you see these 2 bolts here. This is the important part. This is the trick. You see this? Loosen this before you even attempt to put this piece on the bike. Loosen these 2 bolts. Now you see how much play that has? When you get it from the factory, it will be tight already, but there's so much play in here, you're going to have a hell of a time lining up this to the top of the bike, because this, the planets, all the stars need to align for this screw to go through. And for this much play here, you can imagine how much play you have out here. So make sure, this is a trick, loosen this bolt. And this is also another reason why I took the battery out, so that I can gain access to these bolts later. Okay, loosen that up. There's 2 10mm sockets. Okay, you put this over the frame. So see how it fits right over that, and of course see how much play you have. Had those bolts being tight, if those bolts were tight, you wouldn't have this much play, and that's a great thing. Okay, once we square everything up and we mount everything with our battery out of here, we can get back in here and tighten those fasteners, no problem. And once we set that up, once we lock it in place, next time we take this off, if we take it off and put it back on, we should be dead on in the exact position. Next, we take these tabs again, yeah? And we can't put them in from the top previously, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide them in from the bottom. And of course, the threaded area is gonna be in the back. And this is a little bit tricky, but you see how we can align them now, so since we have all this play. Okay, so we're gonna do that for both sides. We're gonna line that up. And now what I like to do is take just a regular Allen wrench like this, something that won't damage the threads. This is a, I don't know, 3 mil or something. And I'll stick it in here and I'll just work them together just to make sure they're as best lined up as possible, as much as I can. I'll do that for both. Now this is the tricky part, mounting the bottom plastic subframe to the frame itself. Now this is the part that a lot of people I've heard have comments on how this is very difficult. And yeah, it takes some practice, but with some practice, you can get it on pretty nice. There you go. Give it a nice little wiggle, and that seems to let everything slide on a little better. And then, like I said, I get my little Allen wrench here, my little alignment, and I just put it in there and just kind of work it around to see if we can get the best center. And as you can see, boom, straight down the middle. Okay, take that. I'll get my drill. I'm gonna have this set on a decently light setting, and we'll just put this in. We won't tighten it. We'll just put it in real loose so that it can stay. And we're gonna do that for the bolts this other side as well. I got both fasteners in, this side and this side, and that was pretty easy, right? Just takes a little bit of practice, and it's all good. So now it's mounted to the bottom. We got that set, we're good. Now we need to align the top. This is a little bit more tricky of all of them, because now you have the plastic, you have the front of the clip, you have the bracket, you have the frame, and then you have to align it also with the threaded portion in the back of the clip. So 4 things need to line up to get this perfect. And we're gonna, since we bent it out of the tabs a little bit, we should be able to get some flex on this. And we want to just look down the center and see how we can best get these all 4 pieces to align. I think this part may be the part where most people expect everything to line up perfectly, and a lot of times it does, but sometimes it doesn't. Now when you add more pieces to the mix, you might have this issue of it being really tight one way or another. That's why we have this here. So this holds our form. And what we're going to do is we're kind of going to have to bend this a little bit. And it's going to take a little bit of finesse here and a little bit of caveman intuition. But we're going to bend this out. Okay. We're going to line it up, pull this out, holding our stuff in place. And we'll just put that screw in. Now, the screw may or may not get a little damage over time. That's a given. Screws are cheap, but we can't be messing around with this thing all day. You know, we got trails to ride. We'll do that for the other side, and we'll move on to the front. Angle. Easy. Okay, now we can go ahead and tighten all our fasteners. This is what I was talking about. You see this play right here, guys? You see how much play we have in this piece from side to side? Can you imagine if the factory tightened this bracket and it was stuck like here, and you basically had to bend this thing all the way to a line up? That would suck. So remember, loosen those 2 bolts under the seat. Make this, give this thing its play, its movement. And then from here, we have a lot easier time aligning the planets for this piece here. Now, being that this is new, yeah, this plastic piece is new, it's gonna take a little bit of finagling to get on, but once you ride it and once you kind of work it in, once you drop it, it's gonna work itself on, so it's not gonna be a problem. But initially, it may not fit as snugly as you may think. All right, so we got the top cover down, sitting pretty nice. You will notice if you're like me and you've seen an Escape, or you even own an Escape and an EPR race, you'll notice that for the Escape model, it fits in quite nicely to the piece. But when you add a seat kit to the EPR race, you're basically adding 1/8 of an inch material on either side for that bracket. So you may notice that this piece doesn't necessarily lock into this plastic as well. It doesn't look as nice, but I assure you it's fine. This piece here has no structural value to the seat at all. It's more of an alignment thing, yeah. But your structure comes from your seat compressing this and holding this down, and as well as your screw up here aligning everything together. Okay, and to be honest with you guys, this is the hardest part. Getting these planets to align is a lot harder than this, but with that adjustment of the metal, it's gonna be a lot easier. This one may take a little while. This is the longest part of the whole process right here. Now at this point, this is why I use an Allen wrench with a round tip. You're basically putting, if you use something sharp, you may go into the wires here for the controls, and you don't want to do that. That's why I use a rounded Allen head, and I can kind of feel my way around there, and boom, once I get it in there, I'll leave it in there. So we're nearing the last portion of our seat addition. So now we take this Escape fender and we just slide it on where the EPR fender was. So if you want the graphics for your seat kit, make sure you specify that to your dealer so that he can specifically order it for you with the graphics. Now, as far as the seat kit costs, I'm not going to quote on the cost because basically I'm not sure exactly what the other guys are retailing it at. But if you have questions, you can hit up CPD or CPD distribution, or you can hit up electricmotionusa.com. They should have a price list on this seat kit here. You can also contact your own dealer to get a more accurate price in your state. Last but not least, the seat itself. Now, this little T here is gonna fit over a little button here, and that is what's gonna lock it in here. You still get this little compartment, which is nice and handy for storing stuff, tools, whatever have you, little things that you may need in the trail. Just a nice space that's covered up by these sides. So this will totally cover it, keep it in place. And of course, your little mounting screw, which they supply for you with the kit. So a little flange bolt and a washer, okay? So to get this on, it's gonna take a little bit of work because it is very tight and you want it to be tight, but you're gonna have to push down in the middle and just, push down in the middle and just work it on. There you go. Now, that was a little difficult, but you want this to be tight. This is very important. When you sit on it and you feel some slack here in this this seam up here, when you sit on the back and you see this thing slacking, once this thing becomes loose, not necessarily it's going bad, but that's what you want to avoid. So having it tight is the best thing. Now we just take this here and we just put the screw in, and this mounts everything together. All right guys, now there you have it. From the front, top cover, bracket mounted underneath, seat mounted here in this nice new 2021 seat. Definite upgrade from the 2020 model. Still very trialsy seat, not much padding, but a lot better in the trails. I mean, and just overall comfort. Your rear fender here, your Escape rear fender, and yeah, it's pretty seamless. I mean, like I said, it will take a little bit. When you ride it, you put some weight on it, everything will kind of conform. And the next time you put it on, this is about maybe the second time I put this kit on and taking it off, and then it's a lot easier the second time around. Now what I'll do is I'll go back, and in here I'll make sure I tighten up these bolts, because now the bracket is in perfect alignment with what I want. So next time when I put this on, it should be a lot easier. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video once again. And of course, please remember, if you like what you see, please subscribe, hit the like button, throw in a comment in there. Thank you to Hawaii Rides for helping us out get these bikes to the Hawaiian Islands. They're the local dealer, and we at Kawela Motors are very happy to be working with them. Great support. And one of the few people who initially had trials bikes on the island before Electric Motion came around. Now, like I said before, if you've seen a little Easter egg in this video or something very suspicious that you haven't seen on one of our bikes before, put it in the comments block. If you get it right, we'll give you a mention in our next video about that piece, and we'll also give you a $20 discount if you want to get that piece. So it's something you can buy. It's an accessory. That's about all I can give away. Till next time guys, thank you once again. Remember to ride with Aloha, stay safe out there. All you guys in the ice, hopefully your ice melts soon. You can get out and ride your electric motions and have a lot of fun like we are here in the Hawaiian Islands. Till next time guys, aloha.